A new day and a new report. Hello to all of you from the news section of the daily map report prepared by the Pioneer. Today we will analyze the latest developments regarding the ongoing war between the Russian army and the Ukrainian army together with a map. According to the latest reports, the attacks of the Ukrainian army are concentrated especially on the Bakhmut front line. We see that the Ukrainian artillery units in particular are very active on the Bakhmut front line. It is also reported that the Ukrainian army has won success in some regions. So, what is the latest situation on the front line? Let's take a closer look at the developments. As the Pioneer, we continue to transmit the Russia-Ukraine war today accompanied by the maps and analysis. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and the other analysis. You can also support me and my team by using the Super Thanks button located at the bottom of the video. If you're ready, let's start. The Pioneer reports. Let's start our report today by examining the front line from the north to the south. The first area we will examine is the northern front line, that is, the Luhansk region. Let's look here on the map. Recent reports indicate that there have been mutual attacks by both the Ukrainian army and the Ukrainian army in this region. According to information we have from local sources, Russian troops have launched an attack near Novhorivka. There is a lot of land in this region that we can characterize as hilly. According to our sources, the control of these lands is still in the hands of the Ukrainian army. Some sources claim that Russian troops have captured these hilly lands. However, there is no visual confirmation from this region so far. Even in the scenario in which these reports are true, we see that the Russian army has still not been able to capture Novhorivka. The Ukrainian defense forces in the region are very experienced and strong. Therefore, the weak attacks carried out by the Russian troops remain ineffective. In particular, the presence of the Ukrainian artillery units in the region makes the Russian army very tired. We have also stated in our previous reports the Ukrainian defense in the region is quite strong. Moreover, although the most experienced troops of the Ukrainian army are at the southernmost end of the front line and on the Bakhmut front line, the Russian offensive forces cannot overcome the Ukrainian defense here. In fact, we can say here that the Ukrainian army is stalling the Russian army, because in the region the Russian army shifts its troops when its attacks decreases. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian army is starting attacks in the region. Therefore, it is unlikely that the Russian troops will be shifted to other parts of the front line. That's all I can say so far with this region. Do you think we will witness more mobility here? Or let me change my question. Do you think the Ukrainian army is following the diversion strategy in this region? Yes. Now let's continue the Bakhmut front line, which is one of our main focus points. The Bakhmut front line keeps the temperature as on the first day of the war. According to recent reports, the Ukrainian army has made limited gains in some areas. Now I need to point out this here. In fact, some sources have recently claimed that Andreevka and Gordomivka regions have come under the control of the Ukrainian army. But this is not true. According to some experts, the Russians own these claims, because the Russians aims to block the arrival of more support to the Ukrainian army by showing that the Ukrainian army has won a victory. Of course, the Ukrainian army has made gains both south of Bakhmut and at many points of the front line. However, in order for these gains to continue, the support needs to continue. Let's get back to our topic. On the map, you can see the districts of Klishchivka, Andreevka, and Gordomivka, located south of Bakhmut. As you can understand from here, the Andreevka region has been occupied by the Ukrainian army in 3 fronts. Ukrainian gains have been increasing in this region in recent days. In the same vein, the Ukrainian army has made gains in Klishchivka. According to the latest information we have from local sources, the Ukrainian army is almost getting results in Klishchivka. Recent reports indicate that the Ukrainian army has established dominance in the remaining areas, where Russian soldiers remain only in center of Klishchivka. There are also attacks by the Russian army in the region. According to recent reports, Russian troops have launched an attack in this region in front of Orekhiv and Vasilivka. However, the Ukrainian defense force in the region managed to repel these attacks. As you can see, these areas are located north of the city center of Bakhmut. Therefore, it seems possible to say that the latest situation in the north of Bakhmut will also become more active in the coming days. Now let's continue with the Donetsk frontline. Russian troops in the region carried out attacks on the Ukrainian positions located south of Marinka and Andeyivka. Ukrainian troops in the region managed to successfully repel these attacks. Here's what we need to pay attention to here. The Russian army are carrying out a large number of attacks, especially around Avdiivka. We see that the Russian army has not been able to make any gains during these attacks. On the other hand, the Ukrainian army, which was in the defense positions, expanded its gains around Opitny. Therefore, it is possible to say that the offensive power of the Russian army has been broken in this region as well. We think it's possible. Recent reports indicate that the Ukrainian artillery units are quite active in this region. According to information we obtained from local sources, Ukrainian artillery units targeted Donetsk city center and Hryliivka in particular. There are reports of a large number of casualties in the Russian positions in the region. Now let's continue with the Zaporizhia front line. We have recently mentioned that the Ukrainian army has expanded its front line in Vohol region and attacked the Novomyrovsk region. According to the Russian Western Battalion in the region, it recently shared a situation report. The report in question is as follows. The situation is complicated in Novomyrovsk. The enemy has taken on the task of taking a result regardless of casualties. Their passions are high. As can be understood from the Western Battalion, the Ukrainian army is resolutely continuing its attacks in this region. Let's take a look at the latest situation of the Ukrainian army in Robotny part of the Zaporizhian front line. I would like to show you the map changes of the last few days accompanied by the timeline. As you can see, the Ukrainian army has almost captured Robotny in this region. According to recent reports, Ukrainian artillery units are very active in this region. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian artillery units hit Russian positions in Kopany, Ichanovki, and Novopkorovka. Now it's your turn. And what do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army will continue its progress? How do you assess the latest situation on the northern front? Do you think we could face a different situation on the front line? Do you think the Ukrainian army will capture Bakhmut? Mention it in the comments. I'm reading and caring about all your comments.